Hey everybody, it's Jochen Hyde, and I'm back with another exciting installment of Loka versus Desert Wolf. It's January 1st, 1942. Happy New Year. At least for the Allies. Hasn't been a very good December for the Japanese here. You saw that report, right? CV Hiryu. These Coast Watchers are useless. Don't if you're playing with this, they may be able to tell you that there is a ship there, but don't expect them to give you any good detail as to what's actually there. It's rarely accurate. Okay, a lot of sub activity off of Sydney. So one thing to keep in mind, guys, if your subs are being spotted every turn by ASW, they're no good because they're sighted. So anything coming through there is probably going to be able to avoid it. So pull your subs back so they're not being spotted, or they're, what's the point? F-95s aren't going to get it done. Nagato. Woo! Man, something's coming in here. All right. Let's take a quick look here what we got. There's a lot of Japanese ships forming off just to the northwest of Midway. And he's sending in what appears to be ASW patrols just to kind of grease the skids for something to come in. That's what I'm seeing here. Oh, okay. It looks like our Japanese friends are getting a little tired of this winch out business, so I'm guessing this is an amphibious landing. No, it's a night naval bombardment, and they don't hit nothing. And the Japanese are bombarding Midway again. Man, he's coming back here. That's what this means. He's coming back to hit this place again. Let's see how these guys do. Okay. Okay, not bad. 2 heavy cruisers inflict some damage. Okay, they're going for Tarapo. Let's see if they go for Horn Island. That's the one that I was worried about for him. Hmm. I hate subs. Okay. Definitely learned his lesson. He's sweeping before he bombs now. At least here. Clear skies. This should be a good raid today. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that incredible? When the weather is clear, it's just Great hits. And he's brought his altitude down. He can bring it down even further. This is the kind of stuff you want to see here, but you need good weather for it. Boy, he's really not messing around with the sweeps of Singapore, right? That was a pretty boring air phase. Let's see what we get for PM. Flag's back. And he's very high.
Good evening. What can I do?
It's a really boring air phase. Where would all the bombers go? Must have been bad weather. Okay, looks like he's bringing in more stuff to Ambon. He wouldn't have had to do this if he had just, brought in enough stuff on the first go. Okay, one shot ain't going anywhere. Okay, the Japanese are bombarding here. Look at that 10th Division, guys. That 35th Division absolutely wrecked. A 12th Division is also wrecked. Multiple wrecked divisions here. Golly. Look at this. I don't understand how the Chinese are so strong here. Okay, bombarding at Clark. I would say that's another bad trade for the Japanese. And these guys are going to try to finish off the Minato people. And they don't. Oh, here we go. They're going for Ambon again. Let's see if they can do it this time. No, they don't get it. Wow. Yeah, guys. You need armor here to finish it quickly. Those guys aren't going anywhere for a while. Ambon, man, you got. I got to kill that quick. Okay. I'm not sure what this is about. Like, did he follow him into the jungle? Why? Lunga. That's just a dot base. Okay, we're back. Let's dive right on into it. Aircraft losses today. 1 for the Allies, 6 for the Japanese. That's about standard. That's a standard day right there. Ship sunk. Nothing reported. No crazy army losses this turn. This turn's pretty standard. Oh, by the way, if you hear me chewing anything, it's me eating my kids' Easter candy. They're sleeping anyway, they'll never know. Let's take a look at Midway. So, here we go. Still got 101 AV left there. Supply is still an issue, but I see that the PBYs at Johnston are back to flying supply missions today. So if you ever want to calculate how much supply one of these aircraft can carry, you go here and look at the aircraft data, and it's going to be the maximum load. Whatever this is, divided by 2,000. So if it's 4,000 divided by 2,000, you get 2. So that means that each aircraft on every supply mission can carry 2 supply. So if you look at this, we have 28 aircraft. At most, if all these aircraft fly missions, they can only carry 56 supply per turn, which obviously is not that much. Just to give you an idea how that supply works if you're not familiar with it. He does have other ships kind of hanging out, all right, trying to get supply in there, but it's going to be difficult, right? Because we have, I'm presuming these are the bombardment ships that just came in. We have other cruisers here, other battleships here. We saw Kido Butai hanging over here the term prior. So it's not safe to go in there right now. I just don't know what the Japanese are thinking here. He's really going to go for it, is what I can see. He's not backing down. Still bombarding, still keeping an air presence here. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought more troops in, which I wouldn't do, but I'm not Loka, right? So here we go, looking at China. Now that I've realized that there's stacking limits at play here, this makes a lot more sense as to what's going on. I've never played with stacking limits. I know how it works and what it does. I'm not ready to deal with it, but to me, it slows down the ground war substantially because you can only cram so many troops into one hex. That's why you can see here the Japanese are playing troop exchange. They've been getting beat up by these Chinese troops in the mountains, so when a division gets battered, it rotates out and another one comes in so that he does not exceed the maximum stacking limit for that hex. So you're going to see a lot of troops rotating in and out as they get beat up because you just can't like put a death stack in there and push it through. With that being said, it's a lot harder to make any progress, in my opinion, in China or places when you get into this ×3 terrain where typically in a non-stacking limit game, only blunt force trauma is going to bludgeon your way through this, but you just can't do that in this kind of game. So yikes, I don't know. I'm not ready to play like this yet. It's too much. Nothing else happening in Burma right now. And still, the Japanese have not crossed over into Singapore yet. So just for the record, in both of my Japanese play-by-email campaigns, I had already crossed into Singapore way before January 1st. And I was actually taking Singapore before January 1st in one game and January 3rd in the other. So I still think Loka's pretty far behind here. But, you know, if he's not in a huge rush to take Singapore, that's fine. Philippines. Looks like he's caught up to the last Filipino army guys on Panay. And he's also boxed in their last of the allied forces at Malaybalay. They're not going anywhere. Dutch East Indies. Again, we're seeing a prime example of what happens when you don't come in strong enough from the get-go at Ambon. He's been almost a week here, hasn't taken it. Still bringing in troops, and it's still not enough. Ambon is difficult to take. So when like I said previously, I bring in a full regiment at least, and an armored regiment, and I land them at the same time. And you know, that's what I do. But I put a lot of effort into learning the Japanese and had some good teachers and all that. I think Loka hasn't played this in a long time, so I should give him the benefit of the doubt. There's just things, trade secrets that I know playing Japan for a while that he may not know. He probably underestimated how much force was needed at Ambon. So I think that explains a lot about what we're seeing in this campaign. Loka doesn't know the trade secrets that us Japanese players know who played it recently. Okay, I know about, for example, taking down Wen Chao by turn 3. I don't let this happen. I know about Ambon coming in there strong. I know about taking this little dot base on the other side of Monado before you attack, so you trap these guys in there. These are things I know because I've done it recently. He hasn't, and I really need to readjust the lens that I view this campaign in, because I'm being hypercritical of him, but I just know this stuff because I've played it. He hasn't. So for me to make a lot of judgments and assumptions as to why he's doing things or not doing things, I have more experience, recent experience. Let me rephrase that. Recent experience playing Japan. Okay, and I'm also on Team Desert Wolf. He helps me out a lot. So I have that in my pocket as well. Anyway, here's MKB right here. Mini Kido Butai. They're keeping just in range to support this thing. Alright. So unfortunately we did not get our Horn Island landing. It would have been a doozy if he had. Looks like he's pulling back and he's going for Terapo, which, okay, whatever. I was really hoping he'd go into Horn Island. No further activity in the South Pacific right now. Okay, let's take a look at how the American carrier, the Enterprise, is doing in Sydney. It'll be repaired next turn, guys, so who knows where it goes after this? I have no clue. But, check it out. Here's Lexington, and as I was guessing, it does appear that he is going right for the Dutch East Indies. He's going to come in here. I'm guessing he's going to probably kind of try to hang out right on the fringes of all this activity and try to engage one of these task forces as they come in close to Ambon or Kendari. I think he doesn't want to get into a direct confrontation with Mini KB, even though he can probably outdo it. One thing is he only has 2 fighter squadrons here, so about 45 fighters or so. And that may not be enough to both protect this strike and protect the carrier task force from a retribution strike. Plus, we have to assume by now that Loka's got Betties flying out of Monado. So if he's got 2 Betty squadrons here, plus MKB bombers coming after the Lexington, it could be kind of dicey. So I think he'll just kind of hang out at the edge of the band to sea here, looking to pick off stuff that gets a little too far south. But we'll see. We got a couple turns, I'm sure, before that's going to happen. Anyway, that's the turn. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a lot more videos coming soon. I'll catch you on the next one.